Welcome to the IPF World Open, Sub-Junior, Junior and Masters Classic Powerlifting Championships. We're here at the Eleiko headquarters in Halmstad, Sweden. We'd like to thank Eleiko for welcoming us here today and making this competition possible. Of course, they're manufacturers of the finest platform equipment in the world, as we can see in front of us there, with a marvellous new Eleiko rack and bar and plates. We are also sponsored by SBD, the strength apparel manufacturers relied upon by world-class strength athletes, and StrengthLog, which is a Swedish app that records your workouts and PBs. This session is going to be the Masters 2, that's age 50 to 59, and we have two weight classes to keep track of. We have the 120 kilo class and the 120 plus. So that's the heavyweights and the super heavyweights. This is where we start to see massive weights moving. We have just a few seconds left on the clock there. The first man out will be Eric Barr from France. 52 years old, he's been competing for 35 years. He started young. He is coming out for 150 kilos. He looks up for the squat command. You have to stand erect with your knees locked before you'll get that command. You have to take the bar to depth and wait for the rack command. So we have one red light there, and you can see the red spot underneath it indicating that was a red colour card failure, and in squat that is always for depth. But 2 to 1's good enough, and that was a good lift. And we go on to Ian Furman of South Africa. Ian's in the 120 plus category. And we have 165 kilos on the bar. Current PB is 185. The weight didn't give him any difficulty at all there, and that's 3 white lights. Next up we have Garmes Parks from the US Virgin Islands. He's in the 120s, the heavyweight class. He has asked for 175 kilos to open his squat. And he's asked for racks in. A lot of the heavier weightlifters do have racks in. That gives them the opportunities to put their hands outside the racks. And you can see how wide his shoulders are. You would have difficulty getting his hands inside. So here we go. This is Garmes Parks from US Virgin Islands. He has elected to squat bare knee, not even knee sleeves. Oh, that looked tough for an opener. You can see the platform crew using the levers to take the racks back out again so quickly. That is such a great innovation on the new Eleiko rack. Robert Stoklinger from Austria. He's in the 120 plus class. He has asked for 200 kilos to open his account, which is quite close to his current PB of 205.5. He lifted in Czechia in July at the European Masters, and he got 190 at that competition. Lovely. Excellent, that's a good lift. Kaj Matila coming out next from Finland. Very experienced lifter. You can see the information on the graphic there, tells you his age class and his weight class. And as we move through the competition, there'll be more information there. The little red timer there is the 60 seconds he has to start his lift. I look very comfortable. Lifting in an Eleiko t-shirt there. We're lucky enough to have the Eleiko shop and an SBD shop at the Eleiko headquarters here. And I must admit the apparel in there is awesome. Ronnie Anderson next. He's from Norway and he is in the super heavyweight class. Coming out for 205. We have Ronnie Anderson and Raymond Anderson, both from Norway. Maybe a common name, or they may be related. Who knows? Oh, that is giving him some difficulty. Yeah, there was difficult from the word go. He seemed a little bit hesitant on the way down, and very hesitant indeed on the way up. He let go of the bar even, which is not recommended. You want to keep that under as much control as possible. The spotters are there to help you into the rack. They do not expect you to receive the bar into their arms. Arne Giseth next. He is from Norway. He's opening at 220 in the 120 kilo class. He leans over quite a long way into that squat. Everyone's squat mechanics are slightly different, depends on the length of your femurs, and he's a quite long femured lifter, and that results in some difficulty hitting depth. He failed that lift 2-1, two of the referees indicating a failure to achieve the required depth. Jim Lundqvist next. Also from Norway. We have quite a lot. I think we have 4 Norwegians in this group, which is the maximum permitted. You can only have 2 from each country in each weight class. I believe this is Jim's first international. A little bit of work to do to bring that up, but it looked like good depth. And it looks like he's got a little bit more in the tank. Now then, here's big Bob Sadler from the Valleys in Wales. This is his last year as an M2. He moves up to the M3s next year. Very experienced lifter. Been going nearly 20 years. Been absent from the international platform for a little while due to injuries, so let's hope he's over those and can nail this squat. That looked decent. 3 white lights, he's on the board. Quick discussion with Martin Bass in the back there about what to do next. And here's Raymond Anderson. Also in the supers. $225 for red plates, just short of £500. Very deep. That was a lovely squat. Very nice indeed. I think we'll see a decent jump up to his second attempt for him. Now we have Nicholas Carlson from Sweden. Coming out for 230. We hope he's coming out for 230. He's not approached the platform yet. A little bit of a tight pinch point just in the back there. It's difficult to get past when you've got super heavyweights all queued up. Last competed internationally at Albi, which was the last competition we had before COVID hit. No, that was a struggle for an opener. Wow. It was a good lift. He squatted 242.5 in Albi in March 2020. He's got a successful lift there at 230, but it did look difficult. Teo Huutonen next from Finland. Also in the super heavyweights. He's looking for 245. Here he comes, looking resplendent in his SBD Eclipse. Looks strong. And deep. That takes him right to the top of the super heavyweight class in squats. We have two more lifters still to come out for their opening squats. This is the first one, Sasek Vegevic from Serbia. Opening heavier than all the supers. He's asked for 257.5. He was also at Albi at the European Masters in 2020, won his class at that competition. Looks very composed. It's so nerve-wracking coming out for your first squat. Only been competing for 3 years. I think this is his first World Championships. It's the first time he's walking out at the IPF Classic World Championships. Very nerve-wracking. Ooh, deep as anything. And that looked very easy. I think we're going to see some big squats from him. And we still have one more squatter to come out. Scott Robertson from Canada. He's opening his squat at 290 kilos. That's a huge weight. Squatted 290 at Canadian Nationals last year. This is his. He competed at the World Benching in Japan in 2019, but I think this is his first 3-lift international. And he is opening his account with 290 kilos. That's massive. Okay, squat command, quite a fast descent, and made short work of that. 3 white lights, a good lift, and he goes straight to the top of the 120 kilo class. Okay, we are into the second round of squats. Now we have Eric Barr coming out for 160 kilos. Here he comes, he looks fired up. A little bit tentative there. I wonder if that was a little bit conservative on depth. I don't have the best angle to judge depth from, but luckily enough we have 3 referees who do, and 2 of them thought that that was not deep enough. He just seemed a bit nervous of it. The strength looked fine. He just needs to sink it that little bit further. Ian Furman, South Africa. Travelled a long way to be here today. Opened with 165. We can see from the graphic there he had a good lift at 165. He's coming out for 175 for his second attempt. Taking his time to make sure that bar is exactly where he wants to be on his back. You get that bar too high or too low and it throws your entire centre of balance out. That's a lovely upright position he's got. And that's a good lift. Gomez Parks next, USVI. He's in the heavyweight category. He opened with 175. He's gone up a long way to 205. He didn't have the easiest time with his opener. It didn't look super easy. And he is a little bit late to the platform. I wonder if he's not coming out. Because his opener did look quite tough. And this is a long way up. So in the situation where a lifter asks for a weight to go on the bar and they don't come out for it, we run the clock. We run their 60 seconds. In some cases, the lifters will put their attempt in rather than scratching, even if they don't intend to come out, because as a courtesy to the other lifters, because if a few lifters drop out, you get a much shorter time to recover before you have to go out for your next lift. And he's definitely not coming out at this point, and even if he was, he wouldn't make the squat in time. You have 60 seconds to begin your lift. You need to get the squat command. You don't have to complete your lift in that time. So there we go. Timeout for Gomez Parks. That's a no lift. And I hope he hasn't injured himself on his first squat, because his first squat did look quite tough. Ronnie Anderson next. From Norway. Very experienced lifter. He is the current equipped Masters World Champion. Competed only last month in Romania. It's very tough competing both classic and equipped. Oh, that was nowhere near depth. I don't want to presume the referee's response, but I think he just made a mistake there, or maybe something didn't feel right, and rather than grind out a difficult lift, he took the option to just, you know what, let's just get this back in the rack. I've got another crack. I've got another go at that. Robert Stoklinger next from Austria. He's in the supers, the 120 plus class.
I'm sorry, no lift on 1, 2 to 1, no lift on 1.
Opened at 200, gone up to 212.5. No, get it. Yeah, he let the weight get in front of him. I think he just wasn't going, and the weight came forward, rolled up his neck a little bit, and he just bent over. Once you've lost your back tightness like that, there's no way you're getting the squat back. But maybe that was just a technical mistake that he made, and he can nail that in his next attempt. Kaj Mattila from Finland next. He's a 120, and he's gone up from 202.5 to 215 in odd socks.
Good lift on 1.
I would definitely feel unbalanced in odd socks. Very deep.
Has concluded on platform 1. We're going to
Came up very quickly.
two.
I think he's got a little bit more left in the tank there.
Kajmakina of Finland. Next weight on the bar. On to 220 kilos. Vegevic of Norway. Barr is
Geir Arne Giseth next in the 120 kilo class.
Vegevic of
He
Norway.
did not make this on his opener. Was that on depth? Or did he just not stand up with it? I can't quite remember. He gets the Yorkshire squat command from the newly appointed Phil Frost. That looked a little bit difficult. He's received 1 red card for depth from one of the referees, but it's a good lift, 2 to 1. Did look a little bit tough. I don't expect him to go up a huge amount from that. Jim Lundqvist next from Norway. One of our 4 Norwegians. Coming out for 227.5. It's £500.
Bar loaded 227.5 for Jim Lundqvist of Norway.
Bit of a fight. Never really in any doubt though.
2 to 1, a good lift for Jim Lundqvist of Norway.
Again, he received 1 red card, but 2 to 1 is good enough.
Of Norway.
Raymond Anderson next. Only been competing 4 years, so he started lifting while he was already an M2. A lot of the Masters lifters have been lifting for decades, but some people do come into the sport quite late in life and start lifting as a master. Now this will move him up for the moment from bronze medal position in squat to silver medal position. Sets his back, dips in. That'll look like a nice second attempt. I think he's got a fair bit more in the tank there.
Raymond Anderson of Norway. 235 next weight on the bar for Niklas Carlson of
Niklas
Sweden.
Carlson next. He is going to... He's asked for 235. This will move him back ahead of
For Niklas Carlson.
Raymond Anderson. I nearly had my Andersons confused there. We have Raymond Anderson and Ronnie Anderson, both from Norway. But this is Niklas Carlson for 235. He's only gone up 5 kilos. This will move him up to 2nd place in squat. Oh, that's hard. That's a tough one. He's working that bar. Managed to stand up with it. What do the referees think? And that's 3 white lights. He is rewarded with a good lift. That's given him the silver medal position in squat for the moment. However, here comes big Bob Sadler.
235 kilos, Bob Sadler, Great Britain.
Bob competed at the very first classic World Masters competition in Potchefstroom. Certainly handled the weight very well. What do referees think about the depth? They were happy with it. Fantastic. So that moves... Oh, that doesn't move Bob up to silver medal position. That moves him up to bronze medal position because he is heavier in body weight than Niklas Carlson, who has only just made it into the supers. Weighed in at 121.99, so he's barely a super heavyweight. Teo Huutonen next from Finland. He is already in gold medal position in squat. This will put another 10 kilos on it. Of course, the individual lift medals are great to have, but this is all about building a total. It's all about the long game and coming out with the highest number at the end. The biggest squat you do plus the biggest bench plus the biggest deadlift gives you your total, and the highest total takes the world title. 255 on the bar. Sits it in. 2 to 1. He has one red card for depth and one blue card for lockout. So that might mean, it can mean that there's downward movement of the bar, but I don't think that was the case here. I think that was for lockout, soft knees. So he gets another opportunity at that. In the meantime, we have Sasek Vegevic from Serbia. He has gone up 20 kilos from his opener. His opener did look very, very comfortable. He's in silver medal position on squat. This won't change that position. But as we were saying, this builds his total. He needs to defend hard against the Norwegian lifter. One of the Norwegian lifters. We have 4 in this group.
30 seconds.
Depth looks great. Strength also looks great.
3 white lights and a good
That's a
lift.
good lift. Fantastic. One more squat remains in round 2.
307.5 next set in the bar.
And that's 307.5. Scott Robertson from Canada. He opened at 290. Made short work of that. Oddly, this would be a world record in the super heavyweight category, but the 120 kilo category world record is well up the road at 378.5. That looked like a very accomplished squat. Good lift. That extends his lead in the heavyweight category. And we go round to the 3rd round of squat. Eric Barr, he didn't make this on his 2nd attempt. He's going to have another try at it. I think it was depth. Just a little bit shy of depth. He was a little bit nervous of it and didn't just quite go far enough.
Bar loaded, 160 kilos, Eric Barr of France.
No, definitely looked better. He looked like he was about to come up and his coach called him down a little bit further. Still not quite far enough. So that leaves him with a best of 150. But he's on the board. Ian Furman next. Opened at 165. Moved up to 175. This is 180. Very tall lifter. You can see how far that squat rack's had to be extended to accommodate him. Now that didn't look quite as deep as his previous ones to me. Was it deep enough? 2 to 1 it was. He's got it. That leaves him with a best of 180.
US Virgin Islands.
We have a weight's gone on for Garmes Parks. I wonder if he'll come out for it. He didn't come out for his second. He may be just putting this weight out on as a courtesy to the other lifters, so they have sufficient time to recover. Or he may have decided not to come out for his second, but to come out for his third to give him more recovery time. As the clock ticks down, it is looking though like he is not going to come out for this. So if we just have a quick look at the rankings and where we are in the competition at the moment. These are the Masters 2, 120 kilo and 120 plus class. So we have 7 lifters in the 120s and 7 lifters in the 120 plus. Only one lifter has yet to make a successful squat, and that's Raymond Anderson in these supers. So Garmes Parks is about to time out, and then we will see Ronnie Anderson waiting there in the wings to come out for 205.5. Gives us loaders a little bit of a break there, coming out for the same weight. Now he did not make this on either his 2 attempts. I mean, his last one, he didn't even take it anywhere close to depth. I think he realised he wasn't set up properly and decided to abandon the attempt. But I'm sure he's strong enough. He needs this to stay in the competition. He's driving it, he's fighting it, he's stood up with it. What's the verdict? 3 white lights, it's a good lift, and he is in the competition. Fantastic, we haven't lost anyone. Everyone has made a successful squat. And that took, now I have 2 R. Andersons in the 120 plus, which is very confusing. They're both R. Anderson, they're both from Norway. So it's Ronnie that's just got his squat in at 205, and Raymond has yet to do his 3rd squat. But we have Robert Stoklinger on the platform at the moment. He did not make this last time. Works through, but did not take it down far enough. You have to drop the hip below so the hip crease is below the top surface of the knee. Parallel is not good enough, you have to break through parallel. That left him with a best of 200. Mattila of Finland next. He opened at 202.5. You can see on the graphic there in the top bar, this will move him up from 5th place in squat to bronze medal position, rank 5 to 3. 227 kilos on the bar. This is for the squat bronze. Pushes down into depth. That looked like a really well judged 3rd attempt. And it's a good lift that moves him up for the moment to bronze medal position. Geir Arne Giseth from Norway. He got 220 for the 2nd time of asking. He's gone up to 230. This will take the bronze medal position away from the Finnish lifter. He lost his position a little bit. He was very bent over as he brought the bar up, but it didn't really give him any difficulty, and that's a good lift. He jumps up to bronze medal position. Lundqvist from Norway is next, again in the 120 kilo class, and again this will move him up to 3rd place. quite a battle going on for the squat podium here.
Lundqvist of Norway.
That looked nice. And the referees agree. Well, two of the referees agree at least. He got 1 red light for depth, but 2-1 a good lift. And he has secured the bronze medal on squat. Into the 120 plus class next. This is Raymond Anderson. Finding it very confusing having two Norwegians with the same name. I wonder if they are brothers.
7.5 kilos, Raymond Anderson of Norway.
He's currently sitting in 4th place in squat. This will move him up to 2nd. And the Swedish lifter currently in 2nd place is not coming out for his 3rd squat. He scratched that attempt. So this is for the provisional silver. Depth looked great. And strength looked great as well. 3 white lights and the silver medal for the moment.
Next weight on the bar, 200.
Here comes Bob Sadler
For Bob Sadler, Great Britain.
from sunny Wales.
Bar loaded, 240 kilos, Bob Sadler, Great Britain.
His best ever squat is 245. Squatted 235 at the British Masters a couple of months ago. Oh, a little bit of a wobble as he comes up. His face showed a little bit of distress as he came up, but that wasn't quite deep enough. That leaves him with a best of 235. Unfortunately, he finishes just outside the podium on body weight on squat. Huutonen next from Finland. He's guaranteed the squat gold now. Missed 255 for his 2nd. He's come out to attempt it again.
No more changes to openers on 1. Lift off in 2 minutes on 1. Bar loaded, 255
Here he comes, 255 kilos on the bar.
Finland.
Weight certainly was comfortable. 2-1, a good lift. I wasn't certain of the depth. That's 2-1 in a good way.
Remain on platform 2.
That gives him the gold on squat and the lead going into the rest of the competition. 2 more squats to go.
Followed by Robertson of Canada.
Sasek Vegevic from Serbia. He's in silver medal position. This won't move him up. We can see squat rank 2 there. He has looked very strong, very impressive. Just taking a moment to compose himself before he gets under the bar. Nice, very good. 3 white lights, 285 kilos, and a silver medal in squat. He looks delighted.
Last lift on 1.
Here we go. This is 3:15 for Scott Robertson. He already has the gold on squat.
This is the last lift on 2. We're about to commence lifting.
This will push him a long way out in front in the overall competition.
Bar loaded on 1.
Relatively new lifter,
Bar loading
new
on
to the
2.
international platform in terms of full power. Oh, just caught a misload there, just as he was coming out. So we need to reset that clock. There we go, clock is reset. When you're fired up and waiting to come out, the smallest thing can throw you off.
Good lift on 1.
Very wide grip. Sits down. Oh, he's gone offside. How did he bring that up? You could see he shifted such a long way to the side.
Robertson on 2. That concludes
That's no lift. Maybe the bar did actually dip a little bit when he shifted sideways, so that's a shame. Leaves him with the best of 307.5 and the gold medal on squat. We're going to take a break now for 20 minutes and we'll see you back here for bench.
lift off on 1. 19 minutes to lift off on 2.
Welcome back to the IPF Classic World Championships here in Halmstad, Sweden. We're at the Eleiko headquarters. They have very kindly allocated a massive amount of space for us to have the competition. We're running 2 platforms at the moment. We've got a huge warm-up room full of absolutely brand new Eleiko equipment, and they've also put on a training room for us as well. So we're totally grateful to Eleiko for doing this for us. We couldn't have had the competition without them. Also sponsored by SBD, strength apparel manufacturers relied upon by world-class strength athletes, and StrengthLog, the Swedish app where you can record your workouts and PBs, or PRs if you're American. We're in the M2, 120 and 120 plus kilo classes. We have one group. Those 2 classes are combined. We have Big Bob Sadler coming out for 122.5 to open his account. He just narrowly missed out on a squat bronze medal. Here he comes for 122.5. Okay, here we go. He's been asked to lock his elbows. I do know Bob quite well. He has had surgery on his elbow. And he does have trouble locking it, but he hopefully has managed to do it on this occasion. No, 2-1, blue cards. It's a real problem. In some sports, in weightlifting, for instance, you can demonstrate the maximum limit of your lockout. Unfortunately, we don't have that rule in powerlifting, so if you cannot straighten your arms, then you can't do a bench press, unfortunately. So, let's hope that Bob can manage to straighten his arms for his next lift. In the meantime, we have Kaj Mattila from Finland. He's opening his account at 132.5. Looks very comfortable. No drama there at all.
3 white lights and a good lift. Next weight on the bar, 132.5 kilos.
Eric Barr next. From France. His PB is 155. This is 132.5.
Eric Barr.
Benching in knee sleeves. I always struggle with that. I can't bend my knees that far when I've got knee sleeves on. Seemed a little bit uneven. The bar there wasn't quite level, but he extended his arms to lock out, so there was no problem there, and he got 3 white lights. Next up, we have Ronnie Anderson.
Next weight on the bar, 145 kilos for Ronnie Anderson. Bar loaded, 145 kilos for Ronnie.
He really struggled on squat. He only got his squat on the 3rd attempt. Let's hope he has more success with bench press.
On 1. Ronnie Anderson out for 145 on 2.
Oh, that was very easy. Very easy indeed. I wonder if he's actually dropped his opener because he struggled a little bit on squat. Give him a confidence boost. Might see him take quite a significant jump on his next attempt. Geir Arne Giseth next from Norway. He is looking for 150 kilos to open his bench press. Very nice, kept his chest up very well. Drove the bar home. Here comes Garmes Parks. He struggled a little bit with his opening squat. It just seemed too heavy and he didn't come out for any subsequent attempts. He is from US Virgin Islands and he's opening at 150. He's looking a bit uncomfortable. A little bit of discomfort showing on his face as he settles in. Counts the hand out, not wearing wrist straps. Which is quite unusual. Nice and careful. Well, that looked comfortable. And he's on the board. 3 white lights. I wonder if he's injured. I wonder how he looks to be limping a little bit as he goes away. Robert Sterklinger next.
Austria.
150. He has listed his PB as 156 and he's opening at 150. Now, although you schedule your training to try and deliver you to the World Championships at the strongest possible phase of your training, it's really hard to do your best on the international platform. It's a really high pressure, high profile environment. And a lot of people have travelled quite a long way to get here. But that looked like a nice lift, that looked comfortable. So maybe his next lift will be a PB attempt. Sasek Vegevic from Serbia. He took the silver medal in squat. He has called for 152.5 kilos. Current PB is 160.
Bars loaded, 152.5 kilos, Vegevic of Serbia.
He sank the bar quite deeply into his chest. There's nothing wrong with doing that, as long as you don't sink any more after the press command, which would be a failure. And that was a good lift. Moves him up to provisional gold medal, but there are still 2 lifters to come out to do their first bench in the 120s. Huutonen from Finland is coming out for 160. He's in the super heavyweights, the 120 plus class. He did hit the rack on the way up, but the rules say that's not a fail, just if you clip the rack. It's only really if you slide the bar up the rack that you'll get failed for that. 170 next, Raymond Anderson.
Bars loaded, 170 kilos, Raymond Anderson of Norway.
Here he comes, Love Heart in chalk on his back. Even though we have these new Eleiko racks with the sticky pad where your shoulders go to prevent slipping about, it is habit at this point to chalk your back up so you don't slide. Belt and braces, as it were. 2 to 1. There was a yellow card from the centre referee. I wondered myself if he sank a little bit after the press command, but it was 2 to 1, a good lift. Jim Lundqvist next from Norway. This is 180. Getting into some quite big numbers now. Looked like a decent opener. And 3 white lights. That puts him up into provisional gold medal position with one more lifter yet to come out to bench.
180 kilos, Nicholas Carlson, Sweden.
180 now for Nicholas Carlson. He has quite a bit of hometown support, home nation support at least. I don't know which town he's from. Slow and steady. Good lift. Puts him up to the top of the supers for the moment. But we still have Ian Furman to come out in that class. His PB is 190. He's opening at 185. That's quite a brave move.
Minutes to lift off on 1.
A little bit late to the bar. 45 seconds is lots of time to do a bench press. But if you are asked to replace the bar for any reason, then it gets a little bit panicky. Lovely shot of that beautiful combo rack.
30 seconds.
See, we're down to 20 seconds at this point. He's used quite a lot of his platform time. Gets the start command with 10 seconds to go. Oh, that's very easy. Very easy. That puts him all the way up to the top of the 120 kilo class in bench press. But we still have one more opening bench to go. Scott Robertson from Canada. Now I can see that in this class the world record is Alistair Murdoch's of the UK at 2:15, and Scott Robertson is opening at 2:05. So let's see how this moves. We may see a record attempt. Just explaining to the handoff guy what he wants. And that moved very nicely indeed. 3 white lights. He took the gold in squat and he's right up into gold medal position on bench as well. And I hope we're going to see a world record attempt from him. Now here's Bob Sadler. He has got some problems with his elbow. So he failed his opening bench on lockout. He got the start command, but he got 2-1 reds on locking his arm out. Let's hope he can just push that a little bit straighter this time. Come on, Bob. Still got 30 seconds on the clock, plenty of time. Referee was just explaining to him that he needs to lock his arms. Took a while to get the press command because the bar was bouncing about on his chest. Let's see what the referees say. And that's no lift for Bob. See, I'm not entirely sure that he can lock his arms out any more than that. It would be such a shame. But he's got one more attempt, and we are now into the second round of bench press with Kaj Martila from Finland. Opened at 132.5, gone up 5 kilos, quite a conservative jump to 137.5. Which is around £300. Looked very comfortable.
Three white lights and a good lift at 137.5 for Martila of Finland. Next, weights on the bar.
Next up we have Eric Barr.
The bar is loaded. Eric Barr of
Same weight,
France.
137.5.
Can we start the timer, please? On 2. No more changes to openers on 1. No more changes on 1. Referees to the platform, please, on 1. Spotters and loaders to the platform, please, on 1. Green white lights and a good lift for Eric Barr at 137.5.
That was a good lift.
Next weight on the bar is 155 kilos for Geir Gizet of Norway. The bar is loaded. 155.
Geir Arne Giseth from Norway. Opened at 150. This is 155. So we'll move him up to third place for the moment. Took third in squat. And it's slow. Right arm was a little bit slow to lock out there. 2 to 1. The blue card on squat, which is what we're seeing there, is a blue failure. It can be downward movement of the bar, but I suspect that's lockout.
55 kilos for Ronnie Anderson.
You only see the red card. You very rarely see a red card on bench, actually, because that's for touching the belt or failure to touch the chest. Ronnie Anderson, 155 again. Yeah, look decent. Looks like he has a little bit more to go. Robert Sterklinger next from Austria, 157.5.
157.5 kilos, Stoklinger, Austria.
Relatively new lifter. Benched 157.5 in Czechia for the European Masters.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the jury have changed Gizette's lift to no lift. They have changed it to no lift, as you can see on the scoreboard.
The Norwegian lifter Giseth, he has had his lift overturned. I'm not entirely sure why. But that was Robert Sterklinger, and that's a 2 to 1, a good lift. I'm looking at the centre referee, but he's not looking at me to tell me what he failed for. And of course, he is not obliged to do so. I do like to explain what the failures are for on the live stream. But the yellow card can be for several things. It can be for
overturned for not locking out.
So I've been informed that the Norwegian lifter had his lift overturned for failure to lock out his arms. You have to return the bar to a straight arm position.
Bar loaded on 1.
Sasek Vegevic next, Serbian lifter for 160. right arm just lagged a little bit, but he managed to press that out.
Good lift.
And that's a
on
good
2.
lift. He looks happy with that. That puts him in bronze medal position on bench for the moment. Here's Games Parks. Unfortunately, he seems to be a little bit injured, so I wonder if he will come out for this. He is coming out. Excellent. Open at 150. This is 160. It did look quite comfortable, but he's holding his leg or his hip as he gets on the bench.
Bar loaded on 1.
Such a shame when lifters travel such a long distance, but it is a sport that's hard on the body. And slow but steady. Went all the way to lockout.
Good lift on 2. Good lift on 1.
Teijo Huitinen next from Finland. Open with 160, went up to 170.
Bar loaded on 2.
He took the gold on squat. He's not in a medal position on bench.
Good lift on 1. Good lift on 2.
Good lift for Huitinen.
Bar loaded on 1.
Raymond Anderson next. 177.5.
Bar loaded on 2.
This is actually Raymond Anderson, not Huitinen, which is the graphic that came up.
On 1. Bar loaded on 1.
No drama there.
Good lift on 2. Bar loaded on 2. Good lift on 1. 2 to 1.
Lundqvist from Norway. He's asked for 185 for his second attempt.
Bar loaded on 1. Two to 1. Good lift on 2.
He got one red light for that.
Bar loaded on 2.
I couldn't quite see what that failure was for. But it may have been, from this angle I can't see whether his feet lift or his butt lifts off the bench or anything like that.
Bar loaded on 1.
This is Niklas Carlson. Bronze medal in squats. This will move him up to... Oh, look at that. It was a really fast descent. And it is very difficult to keep tightness at the bottom when you descend that fast. You kind of drop it on yourself a little bit. But that was a 2 to 1. Again, it was a yellow card, so it could be one of several infractions. Ian Furman next. He's only gone up 2.5 kilos. He opened on a 185. He's gone up to 187.5. Now, I have seen happen a couple of times today is that the coaches haven't been fast enough to get the next attempt in, and so they've been given a 2.5 kilo increment. You only have 60 seconds after good lift or no lift is called to get your next attempt in, and those timers are running. At any rate, this will move him up to gold medal position. He's in silver medal position right now. So that was very comfortable, very easy, which makes me wonder if he did in fact time out on his attempt selection. At any rate, that was 2-1, a good lift. I wondered if he was a little bit quick with the press. Anyway, Scott Robertson, here we go. He has put a world record on. 215.5 kilos. Alistair Murdoch's record from Great Britain. He set in Albi at the European Masters in France in 2020. And here is Canadian Scott Robertson looking to take that from him. On his second attempt too.
Bar loaded on 1. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, record on 2. Come on, let's hear.
Oh, it's not quite gone. Oh, that's a shame. It did look like it was a strength issue. It didn't look like a technical failure. It looked like he just didn't quite have it. But he does get another attempt at that, and hopefully he will go for it. Now I can see that Bob Sadler has scratched. He's saved his energy for deadlift. I guess he can take medals in in squat and deadlift if he bombs on bench. So I guess he didn't want to come out and wreck his arms by trying to straighten that damaged elbow. I know he has had surgery for that arm. He is aware that it is a problem. Ian Furman, I can see, has had his bench overturned. So that drops him back into the silver medal position. But we have Matt Hiller on the platform at the moment. Oh, that's not quite there today.
No lift on 2, and ladies and gentlemen, the jury have reversed the decision of the referees for Ian Furman of South Africa. His second lift is no lift.
So that was a no lift for Ian Furman for South Africa. He did beat the press command. His butt came up. I've just heard the MC say that his butt came off the bench. Eric Barr. Now we are into the third round. Opened at 132.5, took 137.5. This is 140. Took a while to get a press command there, but the bar was moving around on his chest. The bar must be stationary on your chest in order to get that press command. Giseth Geir-Arne Giseth next for Norway. He had his 155 overturned. He's put 160 on for his third.
Bar's loaded on 2.
This won't move him up because Parks is lighter in body weight. Oh, he fought it to a standstill and it just would not go. That leaves him with the best of 150 kilos.
160 next weight on the bar on 2 for Austria. Bar loaded on 2.
Robert Stoklinger next. He is coming out for 160 kilos. cheering for himself. Lots of encouragement coming from his coach. No, just wasn't there. That leaves him with the best of 157.5.
No lift on 2.
And we have Ronnie Anderson
No lift
coming
on
out
1, I'm sorry.
next for 162.5.
Bar loaded on 2.
Taking a moment to compose himself.
Bar loaded on 1.
Guess the start command. It's getting quite noisy in here. There's quite a deadlift session going on the other platform. That was a good lift for Ronnie Anderson. We have a hometown boy on the other platform, which is why there's so much support from the crowd right now. But this is Garmes Parks. His 162nd attempt looked very comfortable. This is 165. He is guaranteed the bronze medal, and this won't move him up. So he's definitely going home with the bronze medal in bench.
Bar loaded on 1.
Gets a nice touch. Oh no, it's not quite there. Gets that as far as he can, and we do believe he's carrying an injury and is struggling to get off the platform. However, he is going home with a bronze medal on bench.
Good lift on 1.
So we move into 3 red plate territory next for Timo Huutonen.
Bar loaded on 2.
This does not move him up. He took the gold in squat, but he's outside the medals in bench.
Bar loaded on 1.
And that's a very well judged third attempt, I think.
Good lift on 2. Huutonen.
Raymond Anderson from Norway next. As we are rapidly moving towards the end of the bench press session in the M2 120 and 120 plus
Good lift
classes.
Bar loaded on 2.
Here he comes, 182.5. 400 pounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of the deadlift on platform 1, in the break for platform 2, we will have the medal ceremony for platform 1. So spotters and loaders, as soon as the deadlift is complete, please set
Here we go, 182.5. Most powerlifters outside the US tend to think in kilos, but we all know what the landmark, the benchmark hundreds are. So that was no lift, leaves him with the best of 177.5, bronze medal on bench. Lundqvist is next in the 120s. He is guaranteed the silver medal on bench. He's only gone up 2.5 kilos. So here we go, Jim Lundqvist from Norway. And he fought it as much as he could, but it wouldn't quite go. That leaves him with the best of 185 and the silver medal on bench. Carlson next.
Carlson, Sweden.
Home nation lifter. Also coming out for 187.5. Sitting in gold medal position in bench, second overall. But we have the big benching South African in the same class who's going to look to take that away. But first, this is Nicholas Carlson, 187.5. So, he currently has his hands on the gold medal on bench, but here comes Ian Furman to take that away. Ian's asked for 190. His PB is 190. Failed 187.5 on his second attempt. I believe that was because his butt came up. You must keep your butt and your shoulders and your head on the bench. So here we go, Ian Furman. This is for the bench press gold. Taking his time with his setup, but he still has 30 seconds to go. He thinks he's got it, but I think he beat the rack command. It may have been a different failure, but that's how it seemed to me. It's quite a noisy environment. I don't always quite hear the referee's commands spot on. However, here comes Scott Robertson, final bench press in this session. He failed this on his last attempt. It looked like it was going, but it just ground to a halt and he could not get that moving again. So here we go, M2 120 kilo class. M2 world record on the bar, 215.5 kilos. Here comes Scott. Can he do it? No, just a little bit too heavy today. Never mind, he took the gold in bench press to go with his gold in squat, and that gives him a huge lead going into the rest of the competition. We're going to take a 20-minute break now, and we'll be back for deadlift. Welcome back to the IPF World Open, Sub-Junior, Junior and Masters Classic Powerlifting Championships. We have all the age classes combined in one huge competition here at the Eleiko headquarters in Halmstad, Sweden. Currently we have the M2 men. This is the very last session for the M2 men. This is the 120 kilo and 120 plus kilo category. We can already see Ian Furman there waiting to come out, but he's still got 30 seconds on the clock. So that's just time to thank Eleiko for hosting us here, and SBD, who are also sponsoring the competition, and they're manufacturers of some of the best apparel relied on by world-class strength athletes, and also Strength Log, the Swedish app that allows you to log your workouts and PRs. So we are ready to go now on platform 2. We have 185 kilos on the bar. This is for Ian Furman. His PB is 210. He's opening at 185 kilos. He's come all the way from South Africa. And that looked very easy. That's a great opener to lead us out into the deadlift session. Raymond Anderson is next. Norwegian lifter, 54 years old. His PB is 232.5, but he's opening his account today at 200 kilos. Nice, comfortable looking opener. And 3 white lights. He is followed out by Eric Barr from France.
Is 210 kilos for Eric Barr of France. The bar is loaded.
He has called for 210 for his opener. Made short work of that, pulling beltless.
That is a good lift at 210 kilos, 3 white lights for Eric Barr. Next weight on the bar, 215 kilos for Robert Stoklinger of Austria.
Robert Stoklinger next, Austria. Coming out for 215.
215 kilos, Robert Stoklinger, Austria.
Once we have one round of deadlifts in, we'll start to look at the overall placings. Just being asked by the centre referee to make sure there's a gap between his socks and his knee sleeves. Your knee sleeves mustn't touch your singlet or your socks. Kaj Matila next from Finland, coming out for 220 in his odd socks. Excellent opening lift.
235 kilos next to the bar for Carlson.
Nicholas Carlson next.
Followed it, 235 kilos, Nicholas Carlson of Sweden.
Good lift.
235 for Nicholas Carlson. 235 remains on the bar for Bob Sadler of Great Britain.
Bob Sadler is coming out for 235. Unfortunately, did not manage to make a bench press due to an injured elbow. Couldn't straighten his arm sufficiently. Let's hope that doesn't slow him down too much on deadlift. Pulling hook grip. He got one red light for lockout. The red card on deadlift is for lockout, so that might be soft knees or shoulders not back.
The bar is loaded, 245 kilos for Ronnie.
Here's Ronnie Anderson, 245. Wasn't super light, seemed to have a little bit of difficulty just pulling that through the sticking point. 250 next, Scott Robertson. He took the gold in squat, the gold in bench, had a crack at the bench press world record, didn't quite manage it today. This is 255. Three white lights for Scott.
Scott at 255 kilos. Same weight remains on the bar for Garmes Parks. USBI bar
Here's
loaded.
Garmes Parks. Now, he does seem to be carrying an injury, so let's hope that doesn't give him too much trouble with his deadlift. Slow but steady. Three white lights, he's on the board. Fantastic.
At 255 kilos. 260 next weight on the bar. Geir Giseth of Norway.
260 next for the Norwegian lifter.
Bar loaded, 260 kilos. Geir Giseth.
Of course, people's listed PBs are less indicative than usual given the situation we've had with COVID. You don't know whether people have had access to training equipment or managed to train through, but that's a good lift for Giseth of Norway. Huitinen next for the same weight, 260. This is the top opener in the super heavyweights. Took a rolling start to his deadlift. Can be a little bit inconsistent in your starting, your pull position, but that didn't seem to give him any trouble at all. That moved him straight up into the top spot on deadlift. Cvetkovic next from Serbia for 270.
Bar is loaded, 270 kilos.
He has looked strong all day. Three white lights, a good lift. Moves him up to a provisional gold medal position in deadlift. But here's Jim Lundqvist. He's coming out for the same weight, but he is lighter on body weight by less than half a kilo. So if two lifters pull the same weight, the lighter body weight lifter gets it. Oh, it's a bit disappointing to lose a position on body weight, but that's the name of the game. So that moves Jim up into gold medal position in squat as we go into the second round of deadlift. Not squat, we're on to deadlift.
Furman of South Africa as we move into round 2. Bar is loaded, 200 kilos, Ian Furman.
Ian Furman's coming out now for 200. He's moved up from 185 opener. A little bit of work to do, but certainly within his capabilities.
Ian at 200 kilos, 212.5 next weight on the bar, Raymond Anderson of Norway.
Raymond Anderson next, 212.5. He's gone up 12.5 kilos from his opener. He is in third position overall. I think he's going to struggle to move up, to be honest. There's a big gap to the silver medal position, but he is going to have to defend hard against Ronnie Anderson. The two Andersons are right next to each other. I wonder if they are brothers. This is some kind of sibling rivalry. I could be just making that up. So this is Raymond. Look like a good lift.
3 white lights for Raymond at 212.5. 230 next weight on the bar for Katarina of Finland.
230 next for the Finnish lifter, Mattila.
Bar is loaded, 230 kilos, Katarina, Finland.
Took 220 for his opener, went up to 230. Looked reasonably comfortable.
Good lift, 3 white lights for Mattila of Finland. 230 remains on the bar for Eric Barr of France. Bar is loaded. Bar loaded.
Okay, 230 for Eric Barr. We are zipping through deadlifts. That looked quite tough, but I think he had some... I don't think he quite got his start position right, because the bar kind of came off the floor and swung towards him. So it may well be that he has a fair amount more left in the tank there. Robert Stoklinger. $230 kilos. That was almost a stiff leg deadlift. He barely bent at the knee at all. Struggled with the lockout. I am not certain what the referees are going to say. 2-1, it's a good lift. So you got one blue card for that, which is either for supporting on the thighs or downward movement of the bar. I suspect supporting. Nicholas Carlson next. He was the silver medalist last year. Came second to Huutonen from Finland. Now, let's see what he can do this year. That's 245. And it's a good lift. Positions are starting to shake down now. Carlson is sitting comfortably in second place. This is Ronnie Anderson. He was 6th in this competition in 2019, which is the last time this competition was held.
Are you coming out, Ronnie, or are you running the clock?
So he opened at 2:45. This is 2:47.5, which makes me think that either he never intended to come out for this, that he was going to give himself a longer break, or his coach didn't quite get his attempt in time when he was given a 2.5 kilo increment. It does happen. You know, you're having a conversation with your lifter about what they want to do next, and you go backwards and forwards and you look at the screen, and before you know it, the little attempt selection timer runs down, and that's it. You get your 2.5 kilo increment. So Ronnie Anderson has not, for whatever reason, has not come out for that lift. So he is timed out. That is no lift for Ronnie.
No lift for Ronnie Anderson at 247.5 kilos. Next weight on the bar.
Now this opens the door for Bob Sadler, who opened at 2:35, but is coming out for 2:47.5 now, and this will move him up to the silver medal position. Three white lights, that's a great pull for big Bob Sadler. So he is now sitting in silver medal position on deadlift. Garmis Parks next. 265.
Bar is loaded for Garmes Parks, United States Virgin Islands.
Lifter from USVI. It's taking a moment to set up his
Up it goes, come on.
slow and steady all the way to the top. You can see the effort on his face. I think he's struggling a little bit with that injury. 2-1. He got a blue card for supporting, I guess. Supporting on the thighs. This can happen when the knees slide under the bar a little bit and the bar is then resting on the thighs.
The bar is loaded. 267.5 kilos.
Scott Robertson, the man leading the way in the 120 kilo class. This will move him up to bronze medal position in deadlift. He is in overall first place. He's going to be very difficult to catch. However, this is powerlifting. Anything can happen. Oh, yeah, he just made a little bit of an error in the transition phase of the sumo pull there. The bar did dip. It's very common to see with sumo pullers, the bar goes so far and then it transitions from the initial pull up to the knee, and then as it goes into lockout you can have that little wobble. But the strength looked to be there, so he has every chance of making that on his next attempt. Hootenen next. He was the world champion in 2019, the last time this competition was held. Very close by in Helsingborg, as it happens. And that pushes him out a good long way in first place, both in deadlift and overall. Giseth from Norway. Coming out for 280, he's gone up 20 kilos. This will move him up to first place. We can see the deadlift rank 4-1. He's sitting in fourth. This will move him up to first. He got the weight up, and it's a good lift. moving him up to first place in deadlift. However,
No, it is not. It is not you. It is Jim Lundqvist of Norway.
we have the wrong lifter attempting to come out, but here's Jim.
Bar's loaded. For
It's a
Jim
little bit tight
Lundqvist
just
of
getting out
Norway.
into onto the platform around the back there. But here's Jim for 280. This will move him up to gold medal position in deadlift. Very nice indeed.
And a good lift for Jim Lundqvist of Norway at 280 kilos. He now loads the bar to 290 kilos. And this is for the Serbian lifter, Sterklinger.
Last man out in the second round
Barr
is
is
Sterklinger from Serbia. 290 kilos on the bar. This is a 15 kilo PB. Looked a little bit untidy. I think the bar just rolled out a little bit in front of him before he started to pull, but he was certainly strong enough to recover that.
It's nice to see that he was keen.
And we go into the third round of deadlifts. This is where everything is decided and where we crown the world champions. Ian Furman is going to lead us out with 210. You can just see there the knurling on the handle of that beautiful Eleiko deadlift jack.
Yeah, we're round 3, so we must clean the bar.
Phenomenal piece of equipment. Wouldn't look out of place in an F1 garage. So we're cleaning the bar between every round now, as we do in the third round of deadlifts. This gives every lifter the best possible chance of holding onto the bar.
Bar's loaded, 210 kilos, Ian Furman, South
Seems a little counterintuitive that too much chalk would make the bar slip, but if it fills the knurling, then that can happen. So here we go, 210 for Ian Furman. That looked like a tough pull. And it is not a good lift. He has a blue for supporting and a red for lockout. Raymond Anderson next for 225. He is in third place overall. He's not in the deadlift medals, but he is sitting in third place overall. He is under pressure though from the other Anderson from Norway. So let's see what he can do. This will move him up to deadlift bronze to go with his overall bronze. No, it won't, I'm sorry. I misinterpreted the graphic. Fast! Good lift. That looked like he had quite a lot more in the tank there. Mattila next. For 237.5.
Bar is loaded, 237.5 kilos.
Here he comes. Final pull of the day for him. Looks like a well-judged third attempt. Not much more would have gone. He seems quite happy with his performance. Just showing a little bit of respect to the referees as he leaves the platform. Eric Barr has taken another quite big jump. He opened at 210. was successful at 230 for his second. He's put 250 on for his third.
Barr is loaded for Barr at 250 kilos.
I think he just made a little bit of a mistake in how he pulled that. Tried to roll it towards himself, but tried to pull when it was still a fair way out in front of him. But that leaves him with the best of 230 and a total of 517.5. Ronnie Anderson, he's asked for 252.5. He missed 247.5 for his second. He's in 4th overall and 4th in deadlift. This will move him up to silver medal position in deadlift, but it won't move him up in the overall competition. At this point, Raymond Anderson is pretty much assured of bronze.
No, it's a little too heavy for Ronnie.
Again, that was he's just taking a moment there. Let's hope he's okay.
Good. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Ronnie
Leaves
Anderson.
him with the best of 245 and a total of 612.5. 4th place overall. Nicholas Carlson next. 2nd place man last year. Looks like he's pretty much guaranteed overall 2nd place this year too. This will move him up from deadlift bronze to deadlift silver. No, just a little bit too heavy today.
Sorry, that is no lift. You okay, Nicholas?
Hopefully that's just a little bit of cramp as he leaves the platform.
No problem. 252.5 kilos.
Leaves him with the best of 245 and a total of 667.5. Here's Bob Sadler. Unfortunately unable to make a total as he did not register a successful bench press.
2.5 kilos. Bob Sadler, Great Britain.
However, he is now guaranteed the deadlift silver. That's quite a result.
Come on, Bob.
Very tall lifter, so that Barr has a long way to go. There's a lot of pain showing on his face there. And that, unfortunately, halfway up the lift, I'm not sure if the bar just did, but certainly his knees just slid into the bar a little bit. But he is going home to sunny Wales with a deadlift silver medal. Scott Robertson next, 267.5. Missed this last time. I think he just made a technical error on his pull. He had a bit of a wobble at the transition point on his sumo. So there's every chance that he can make this time. Yeah, that's the difference it makes when you get your technique right. It's so easy to make a technical error on the platform. You train for months and months and months, but you have to execute in those few seconds on the platform under pressure. Garmes Parks, USVI. He has asked for 275. 5 red plates.
The bar is loaded at 275 kilos for Garmes Parks.
Took the bronze medal on bench press. Only took a single attempt on squat. I think due to injury. Yeah, I think that's just a little bit too heavy today.
Not today, not today.
Leaves him with the best of 265 and a 600 total.
285 is the next weight on the bar for Jim Lundqvist of Norway.
Next up, Jim Lundqvist from Norway. Opened at 270, went up to 280, which was his PB. This is a which matched his current PB. This will be a 5 kilo PB attempt.
285 kilos, Jim Lundqvist of Norway.
Has the silver in deadlift for the moment and the overall bronze. Oh, it's going, it's going. Can he lock it out? I think he can. That was a great third deadlift. 285 and a total of 702.5 for Jim Lundqvist. But here it comes. Oh, we've had a change. He's changed his attempt. Okay, so this is Geir Arne Giseth from Norway. He's coming out for 292.5. This will move him up to gold medal position in deadlift for the moment. I don't think it will get him on the overall podium. No, he's some way off that. But a deadlift gold would be nice to go home with.
Bar is loaded, 292.5 kilos, Geir Giseth.
No, just a little bit too heavy today. Leaves him with the best of 280 kilos, the bronze medal in deadlift, and a 660 total.
First one is the man who's already in first place in the supers. It is Teo Hutonen. He's coming out for 300 kilos.
Teo Hutonen from Finland. Opened at 260, went to 275, and now he's asked for 300. This must be a personal goal because you wouldn't usually take a 15 kilo jump and then add 25 kilos to it. But he's unassailable in first place, so he might as well have a go at what must be a personal goal of his. Just rolled the bar back so he's not standing in someone else's talc. No, it was a big ask to go up 25 kilos, and you can see the look on his face. He's happy enough. He is the M2 super heavyweight world champion. Here we go now, last pull of this session. The Serbian lifter is sitting in second overall. He has the deadlift gold already. So again, I think this is a personal goal for him to come out for 302.5. It won't make any difference to his position in the competition. Scott Robertson is the world champion in the 120 kilo class. But it's nice to come out for the last deadlift. 302.5. Can he do it? It's moving. Oh, his grip went. What a shame. But that leaves him with a best deadlift of 290 kilos, the gold medal in deadlift, a 735 kilo total, and the silver medal overall. Okay, that wraps up that session for us. We have more lifting to come. We have the medal ceremony coming up next, but we still have another session to come at 5:30, the local time, which will be the M183s, and we have the M147 to 57 kilo women as well. We hope to see you there.
finalise their participation medals. So we have sub 120 and 120 kilo lifters. First of all, Masters 2, sub 120 kilos. The squats in bronze medal position, having squatted 232.5 from Norway, Jim Lundqvist. That's a long way up. In silver medal position with 285 from Serbia, Sasek Vegevic. And gold medal on the squats with 307.5 from Canada, Scott Robertson. Scott the squats. Well done, gentlemen. And we now move to bench press. In bronze medal position with 160 kilos from the United States Virgin Islands, Gomez Parks. In silver medal position with 185 kilos from Norway, Jim Lundqvist. And the gold medal on bench press with 205 kilos from Canada, it's Scott Robertson. Awesome. Great work, gentlemen. Thank you. And now for the deadlift medals. In bronze medal position with 280 kilos from Norway, Gail Giseth. I've been having a little language coaching from the audience. Thank you, ladies. In silver medal position, only separated by 5 kilos each in the whole class, with 285 kilos, also from Norway, Jim Lundqvist. And the gold medal, with 290 kilos, from Serbia, Sasek Vegevic. So let's see what the overalls were. Thank you, gentlemen. In bronze medal position with 702.5 kilos from Norway, Jim Lundqvist. In silver medal position with 735 kilos total from Serbia, Sasek Vegevic. There's no need to run, Sasha, come on, that could be dangerous. And in gold medal position and your new world champion, 120 kilo Masters 2 with 780 kilos from Canada, is Scott Robertson! Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Canada. Well done, gentlemen. Awesome lifting, thank you. But we're not done yet, because we have super heavyweights on the platform. Can we see the results for the 120 plus? So, in bronze medal position on the squats with 235 kilos from Sweden, it is Niklas Carlson. In silver medal position, only 2.5 kilos ahead, with 237.5 kilos. From Norway, Raymond Anderson. And the gold medal with 255 kilos from Finland, Teo Huttonen. Well done, boys, thank you. We now move to bench press. In bronze medal position with 177.5 kilos from Norway, it is Raymond Anderson. We should start providing steps to the back of those for masters, I think. In silver medal position with 185 kilos from South Africa, Furman. And the gold medal on bench press with 187.5 kilos from Sweden, it is Carlson. Well done, gentlemen. And we now move to deadlift. In bronze medal position with 245 kilos from Sweden, Carlson. The silver medal with 247.5 kilos from Great Britain, Bob Sadler. And the gold medal on deadlift with 275 kilos from Finland, Teo Huttonen. And finally, the overall totals and crowning the new world champion in bronze medal position with 640 kilos from Norway, Raymond Anderson. In silver medal position with 667.5 kilos from Sweden, Carlson. And the gold medal overall and your new super heavyweight Masters 2 world champion from Finland, Teo Huttonen. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Finland. Amazing work, ladies and gentlemen. That was an absolute pleasure to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving these fine gentlemen a round of applause as they follow Farshid Soltani off the platform and into the back, and then they can go and have some food and beer. I promised them they could. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. Music maestro, please.